Hello and welcome back to episode 53 of my still unnamed survival series. In the last episode, we left off with a giant puddle of water and a pit. Both of these areas need some work. The pit needs to go down to bedrock and the water needs completely cleared out to make room for a massive terraforming project. But back to the puddle. This is going to be our main focus for a while, this entire area. But instead of this being the main focus for the next several episodes, I decided to do quite a bit of work between episodes. So our puddle went from looking like this to looking like this. Look at that, almost completely dry. We've still got a little water left behind the machines and a tad more in our swamp. And that'll be gone all in due time. So to start off today's adventure, we are going to be dropping our sand walls. And I do quite literally mean dropping them. I got a lot of comments on the last episode to start using torches, and honestly, I do like this better. It saves a lot of time, but unfortunately, bedrock messes up everything, and when you do this, you lose sand. But I decided that I didn't really care this time around and just wanted to get it done as fast as possible. After looking up towards my castle from the sand wall, I noticed that it looked a little, different. These are sea lanterns. I know for a fact that sea lanterns are not supposed to look like this. I think my world is corrupting, and that's not good. Though they do look really cool, but they're not supposed to look like that. That's pretty different. And after poking around for a bit more, this up here is also wrong. This is prismarine. This is not lapis lazuli, though the closer you get, the more it looks like coral. This is prismarine. This is supposed to be prismarine. And every prismarine block is wrong, including the walls, the roof, everything is wrong. And I first thought it had something to do with textures that move, since sea lanterns and prismarine both change over time. But the warp stems look the same, and those also have a moving pattern and moving texture. So I truly don't know what this is, but it looks like it just flip-flopped patterns, because this is definitely a coral pattern. Though I'm not entirely sure what the sea lanterns would have turned into. I just restarted my computer, textures are back to normal. That was freaky. I thought my world was corrupting, and I thought this was going to be the very end of my series. But thankfully, it doesn't seem that way. And now that my panic attack is over and my world is back to normal, I think we're going to start doing something a little different and not go back to the sand walls. There is still a lot to do in this general area, but I don't want to mess with these walls anymore, at least not for a little bit. But I do want to... maybe take away these machines over here. That's something we could do. We've also got some sand walls. But we can't really do that until we establish where we want the water to end on this side. This is a river, and I would like to keep a river over here that kind of flows into the basin. But I'm not exactly sure where I want that yet, and I think we'll figure that out when we actually start to terraform things. So for now, I think cutting it off right here would do just fine. Yeah, I think we're gonna do that. I'm thinking just a diagonal sand wall right across this river is going to do exactly what we need it to, which is, of course, stopping the water. Once this is all completed, we're going to terraform over this river basin, and it's probably not going to look like a river. So this section underneath the water really doesn't matter at the current time. I've put up a couple more sand walls behind the machines inside of the river. That way it blocks off the water flow from the outside, and we can fully drain the water from behind these machines. Once the water's gone, I'm going to completely remove the flying machines. And once all the machines are gone, I'm going to remove all the sand walls from between the machines. And that's going to get us one step closer to our massive terraforming project. This is looking fantastic. Absolutely worlds better. Eventually, we are going to get rid of these sand walls and replace the gravel and sand in the center. That is going to be part of the terraforming eventually. But for now, we're going to take a step away from this and move over to the village for a bit. These sakura trees that I made a couple episodes ago, I am not happy with. They aren't quite as detailed or quite as voluptuous and lovely as I was intending them to be. The trunks still look great, so we're going to keep the trunks, but the leaves and the blooming sections of this I don't quite like. So I'm going to be removing the top pink section of these trees in hopes that we will eventually create a more beautiful version of this tree. Now that we actually have some vanilla versions of this tree coming to Minecraft, I want to make sure this build stands far beyond vanilla. See, that trunk looks great, that is exceptional, but the top was subpar. Though I gotta admit, that trunk looks pretty creepy and kinda cool. It would be great for like a Halloween build or a fall build or something. I might have to keep that in mind. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you might know that I need an extraordinary amount of dirt. And dirt, as far as I knew, was a non-renewable resource. However, while scrolling through TikTok, I saw a video that said that no, dirt was renewable. So we're gonna go ahead and give that method a try. The first step in this process is to grab some gravel. We are gonna grab it in equal parts to our dirt, go over to a crafting table, and craft up some coarse dirt. Apparently, if you use a hoe on coarse dirt and turn it into tilled soil, whatever it's called, and then jump on it, it turns into normal dirt. I didn't actually know that you could use a hoe on coarse dirt, to be honest. That worked. That looks like normal dirt. Oh my god. We need to industrialize this. We got something going. This is working pretty well, actually. This is my concrete converter machine, and I'm just using this to quickly place the dirt in succession, and once the pistons can't place any more, hoe them up, then scoop them up, and have my little allay buddy here be my janitor. That worked surprisingly well. We turned 4 stacks of dirt and 4 stacks of gravel into 8 stacks of dirt. That is spectacular. I don't really have any use for gravel at the moment, but I have a heck ton of uses for dirt. So we might just make a machine to make this more efficient. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. Since we clipped a few trees and played in the dirt, I'm thinking it's time that we shovel out some sand. The sand walls and the leftover flying machines definitely need to go. I'm not sure if we're going to try and connect it up to the swamp yet. I guess that really depends on how much of it can be connected to the swamp. I don't know. We'll see. It's kind of a scary thought to think that after this section of water is drained, we are still barely not even halfway done with draining all the water yet. And then we've got to design and terraform this whole section. But before we can design and terraform, we need to make sure that we have all the dirt that we need. Oh boy, it's a lot. And a lot of it is done. There is still a lot of water to drain and a lot left to do. This is just one stepping stone in the hopefully beautiful creation of our Elven city, which hopefully will be fully built on top of the land we terraform and looking beautiful, complementing each other. That's the goal anyway. I hope you enjoyed today's water washed episode. I would say this one was a lot of fun to make, but it was in fact very tedious and time consuming. Removing water takes a heck ton of time. 10 out of 10, do not recommend. But I hope you enjoyed watching this episode, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.